right, everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome to Let's Talk Sports. Yes, your host Ron here, and let's get it started. Let's get it started. 'Cause I'm not gonna keep you bored too long. In WWE, it was some great matchup because I had to do a lot of watching, and I enjoyed watching it. My main matchup I like was Priest Ripley versus Black and Vega, and you know who won out of that. I mean, it was just too much Priest and too much Ripley over Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. It was just too much. But I give Vega credit because she went against tall mommy. Mommy did have a height advantage over her. So Vega did her thing, but it just wasn't enough. And Black did his thing, but it just wasn't enough as Priest and Ripley dominated that match. They dominated. I mean, they put up a fight. That's what we want to see. We want to see a put up fight, but it was just too much. Too much Priest, too much Ripley. Elsewhere, another good matchup, Valkyria and Rodriguez. Now, if Nikki Bella did not interrupt that match, I think Raquel Rodriguez would have got Stephanie Valkyria. I mean, I give Valkyria credit, a little small mommy when it gets big mommy. Yes, and with the powerhouse of Raquel Rodriguez, Stephanie Valkyria didn't have a match. She put up a little fight. I mean, the little chilly native put up a little fight, but it was just too much. It was just too much with Kel Rodriguez. If the match went on, if Nikki Bella did not interrupt it, it would have been over. And then your new women's champion would have been Raquel Rodriguez. But as always, Nikki Bella say, those women don't respect me. And I agree. They need to respect the Hall of Fame. So Nikki Bella pounded both of them and disqualified the match as always, and it really hurt it. Um, John Cena saw his last match when he battled what's his name? I forgot, but he battled what's his name for his last matchup, and of course he lost. But one thing about John Cena I like is his sportsmanship, and he said farewell to WWE as he getting ready to retire and be nominated for the WWE Hall of Fame. So yes, because of his sportsmanship, his attitude, his just his as John Cena. Now, what's next with John Cena? As you know, he's doing movies and everything. But if John Cena has to come back as a announcer or just for a special night, then he will do that. But that was John Cena last match, and we will not see John Cena no more any matches of WWE. And Gunther, that's his name. Gunther put him in the chokehold. He got out of it once, and then Gunther put him in the chokehold again. And Johnson is saying, "Tapped out. I had enough." He said, "I had enough. You got this, big boy, and I love you." And it was a pleasure going against you. So that was Johnson's last match, and you cannot get wrong for that. Now, as Rhea Ripley and Sky was making their way to the ring, they was ambushed by the Kabuki Warriors. Yes, Asuka and Kyrie. Yes. And you know that their matchup is next year, January 5th, as Ripley and Io Sky go against the Kabuki Warriors for the Tag Team Championship titles. Now, up for that, there is also as you know, Morgan and Perez, they are up for it, as well as Bailey and Lyra. So they up for that as well too. So whoever wins out of the Kabuki Warriors and Real Ripley and Io Sky face those two next in line for the tag team title championship match. Um, One thing I didn't like, and I'm mad at Bailey, she got spanked by Sol Ruka, and it was just embarrassing to see a powerhouse like Bailey get spanked by Soruka. And you give Soruka credit. Um, it's embarrassing. That's all I can say. It is totally embarrassing. And just to see Bailey be slipping like that. I mean, Bailey, what's going on with you? And Lyra had to sit down and figure out who is Bailey is by calling her an idiot. Yes, and I would have done the same thing too if I was Bailey's tag team partner. I would call her stupid and an idiot too, because Lyra Valkyria hasn't figured out, who are you? I want the Bailey that inspired me to be where I'm at now, not the Baileys that just come in here and look like a flop. So Lyra had called her an idiot, and Bailey got mad for her doing that. Elsewhere, and Nikki Bella, she just running on the vampire after she demoralized the tag team spot from Raquel Rodriguez and Stephanie Valkyrie. She said, "I don't give a damn. These women don't respect me, and I would do anything to get that damn title. So let it be." And wow, and wow, and last, Machine. Machine is getting tired of Jay chaos in the locker room. So that day, Jade attacked Machine, and Machine came out there with her kabuki stick and started beating the shit out of Jade. And I give Machine credit. I mean, it's not much about the title. We know Jay got it. We know Jay holding it down. We know Jay is that queen, that dynamic, dominant queen, and no one can stop her. If you want to get up on it, come face me and get stepped on, because she's that queen and she holding it down, and she is not battling any WWE superstars. She is going head on head with Lash Legend, who's up next for Nia Jax, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair. I can just keep going on and on, because they're gonna be coming after Jade pretty soon for that title. And what you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? And the only thing that really I give Michigan credit, but at the end she got destroyed because Jade's choke slammed her ridiculously, and that choke slam, you felt it. And if you was home watching it, you felt it through your TV screen, because that's how powerful that choke slam was. And nothing cannot be done. So anybody step to Jade, just realize that you're gonna get stalked on. They say, "Hey, I'm fighting for me. It ain't about that title. It's about you disrespecting us as women athletes, because you brought it around because you got that championship title." Yes. And Jay let you know, it is what it is. Like me or hate me. Elsewhere are Miami Dolphins, who got spanked last night by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what really, really bothered me was going in the first, second, and third quarter with only 20 yards of offense. I mean that Pittsburgh did their thing. The defense came fired up. They were playing in the cold. Yes. And we know the Miami Dolphins is not a cold team. But they were playing against a team that needed to stay in the hunt for the playoffs. As Pittsburgh winning, spanking the Dolphins, they stay in the hunt for the playoffs, a game behind Baltimore Ravens, and they needed that game. Aaron Rodgers played his best game, completing 23 of 27 for 224 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tua, 22 of 28 for 253 yards and an interception, and that's the same Tua you get, because they could have won the game. They could have won it. They was managing the clock good. Defense was stepping up, making Pittsburgh go 3-and-out, and always Tua decide to throw in double coverage to Waddle and get picked off. And that's the same. That's the tour you're going to get. And just like I said, the Dolphins is not a cold team. There will never be an outstanding team in cold weather, because the Dolphins are warm blooded. When you freeze them Dolphins, it is over. It is over. You got you this big block ice frozen dolphin. And that's what it was. And the team stats, it is pretty all favors of Pittsburgh. But the Dolphins, just like I said, they didn't really come to play, because when you sit down here and you watch the first 3 quarters, you only muscled in 20 yards of offense. That's embarrassing, because the Dolphins scored the field goal. The defense held it strong. Both of them go scoreless in the first, and it was over. Second quarter, Pittsburgh just ran their way. Third quarter, they ran their way. Fourth quarter, they ran their way, putting up 28 unanswered points on a defense that just could not get it together. So, and that's the thing that they have to start figuring this out now, because by them taking that loss, they are now eliminated for the wild card spot. They only have 3 remaining games left. They have Cincinnati Bengals coming up on not July, December 22nd, 21st at the Hard Rock. And then December 28th, Tampa Bay Bucks come in town. They're playing pretty decent, but they also been eliminated from the playoff as well too. And how about New England Patriots? The last game, and we play up there in their backyard in the cold. And the Patriots are 11-3. With the win Sunday, they could go and clinch the playoff spot and clinch a bye spot and home field advantage. Because who got them? Then Buffalo's trailing right behind them, which they'll be the wild card. But those last 3 remaining games, because we needed to win that game against Pittsburgh. And the NFL analysts, and as well as ESPN analysts, was right, because they know they're going to lose. I've been a Dolphin fan for years. And watching the Dolphins go up to Buffalo, back to New England, in their home backyard where it's nice and cold, 32 degrees, 28 degrees, the Dolphins came out scoreless. They always get defeated. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. And that was a game that we needed to stay in hunt of their wild card berth. Now, we needed the 7th seed to lose. And the 7th seed is Buffalo. So Buffalo had to lose their last remaining games, plus last week. And it wasn't happening. So the Dolphins got eliminated for the playoffs. They only have 3 games. So they could probably beat Bengals. Who knows? And if they lose these 3 games, then they just go 6-13, because I don't see them doing any better. I don't see them beating Tampa Bay. I don't see them beating the Bengals, and I damn sure don't see them beating Patriots, because we gotta go up there in the cold and play them. Now it might be a shocker, shock me. I mean, I've been watching the Dolphins as a strong supporter of the Dolphins since I was 5 in 1979. I was born in 1974. So in 1979, I became a Dolphin fan. I was 5 watching it with my dad. Yes. And this is the pitifulness I have seen the Dolphins ever. And the thing here is going on in sports now, and especially a big headline on ESPN, which I'll be putting in the description below to all the Dolphins supporters. Can we do without Tua and McDaniels? Because Ross needs to start making some changes right now. I mean, everything was clicking when McDaniel was stomping. Offense was clicking. Everything was fired up. Now, we got this mediocre offensive line. Tua don't trust. Tua went back to playing conservative when he came a rookie in the league. Tyreek is out. After Tyreek is going through his rehab and trying to get ready for next year's season, he wants to be traded out, because he's saying, I don't want to play for the Dolphins no more, especially for Tua. And just like I said, it's not really Tyreek Hill's fault. It's the offensive coordinator's fault. Poor coaching, playing conservative, not using your resources, not getting everything together, and Gear being fired. Thank God, because he was picking no talent. And we have a lot of no talent on the team. And they called him out. Brooks, waste of money. A whole lot of people, just a waste of money. And good talent that we had, we don't get, especially in the draft or free agent. And the thing here, if I was a scout for the Dolphins, I'd be looking at D3 and D4 schools, because that's where they at. That's where they at. And we don't get none of that. We stay in our backyard and get somewhat mediocres. It is what it is. can the Dolphins do better next year? Can they get decent draft picks? Because right now, we have everything we need. They talking about trading out Waddle. I could see Waddle going to the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Chicago Bears. I can see him going AFC. Oh yeah, I can see him going to the Buffalo. I can see him going to the Patriots, just like they did with Parker. Trade him out. But Parker shot himself in the foot with a lot of injuries. Always getting toe injury, toe injury. That's why Parker couldn't really stay healthy. And that would have been a good connection with Parker and Tua. Oh my gosh. But right now, it is over for the Dolphins. It is over. And I agree with that. So we just gonna have to go ahead on and play these last three remaining games. Just like I said, it's a 50-50 against the Bengals. It's a 50-50 against the Bucks. And I see New England 80% to 20%. 80% on the Patriots because they're gonna run away from it. Why? Because we play in Gillette Stadium in the cold. And we know the Dolphins is not a snow ice cold playing team. And there's nothing that could be done about that. So, closing it out, I got some stuff coming to next week. Wrestling, the Canes play next week, as well as the Dolphins as they host the Bengals at the Hard Rock on the 21st at 1 p.m. Game time is on CBS. And what the Dolphins are going to do. I would like to know. I would like to see a good team that played decent before playing the Steelers. We know y'all gonna lose. The analysts said y'all was gonna lose. I gave y'all hope somewhat. I had Pittsburgh, I had the Dolphins because I don't know what happened. Tua came from Alabama. He played in the cold. He used to this shit. And he come here and it's over. Like always. So thank y'all for watching episode 38. I'll be back with you with episode 39 next week as I get all my stories together. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Happy holidays. And I'll see you in episode 39.